Namaste. Welcome to episode 3 of the series on the Upanishads. In episode 1, I talked about the introduction to the Upanishads for those of you who are complete beginners to give you a gist of what it is all about, where does it come from, what are the central teachings, and some of the other briefly touched upon details. In the episode 2, I deep dived into who were the rishis or the seers from whom the wisdom of the Upanishads came into being, a little bit detail around that. And for today's episode, we are going to make another deep dive into the source of the Upanishads. So we'll talk about Vedas and the various inner layers of the Vedas and where Upanishads come in, um, and what is the purpose of reading the Upanishads or understanding the wisdom of the Upanishads. So I've briefly touched upon these things in episode 1, but I'll make a deeper dive this time. So starting with the Vedas. Upanishads are the essence of Vedas. They are also known as Vedantas, so the end of Vedas. So if you imagine the Vedas to be a tree, the Upanishads are the fruit of the tree. Okay, the flowering of the essence of the knowledge of Vedas is the Upanishads. What are the Vedas? There are four Vedas. Okay, and Vedas, the word Ved comes from Vid. So if you can see here, Veda means knowledge. It comes from the word Vid, which means to know. Okay, and there are four Vedas. We'll talk about all the four Vedas here, but let's understand how the Vedas and the knowledge of the Vedas came into being. And I've talked about this before, but it is said that they came into being through Shruti. So they were heard, they were not read initially, they were not defined or written down, they were heard by the rishis. Okay, and that the what they heard, the knowledge was imparted to from the guru to the shishya and so on until they became into texts which we can read today and refer back to that wisdom. But initially they have come from hearing by the rishis, the seers who were asking questions. So the answers that they obtained by asking questions were heard or experienced, and that is how they got imparted further. So talking about the four Vedas, as you can see, the first is Rig Ved. The word Rig comes from Reet, and Reet is the divine order of the universe. Okay, the divine order of the universe is what? It is the nature, right? The sun comes up every morning and goes down every evening. The rivers flow from mountains to the oceans. The wind blows from high pressure areas to low pressure areas. All of these things are the divine order of the universe, right? They are the nature's forces. That is the Reet. And from that Reet comes the knowledge of the divine order in the form of Rig Ved. So Rig Ved is essentially more than 10,000 mantras celebrating and honoring the divine order of the universe. And these mantras are addressed to the forces of nature. As I said, Vayu or wind, Surya or sun, Jal or water, Indra or the heavens. So that is the first Veda that we know as Rig Ved. The second, if you can see here, is the Sam Ved. Now, if Rig Ved is knowledge, Sam Ved is its rhythm. Sam Ved is essentially the hymns and mantras in the form of a song. Okay, so when the knowledge and the truth of the Rig Ved is expressed in the form of sound, it becomes Samved. Samved is also, that is why, the foundation of Indian classical music. Next is Yajurved. Now, Yajurved is rituals in action. They are the knowledge house of how the rituals are to be performed, the ceremonies, the offerings, and how they are to be performed through awareness, not just as superstition. In today's times, what are we seeing? We are making offerings, we are doing fasts, we are uh, doing pujas and artis, but are we doing it with awareness of why we are doing it, with the scientific background or some logic of why we are doing it, or we are just doing it because it has been done that way for so long that it has become a superstition and we just do it without any awareness? So Yajurved talks about performing those rituals and ceremonies and offerings in the right way with full awareness to bear fruits. They are basically aligning the human life with the cosmic order in order to have harmony between the two. So, whether it is offering Shraddh to ancestors, or if it's doing a fast for some moon cycle or some special day, no matter what it is, when it is done with awareness, that is what is the essence of Yajurved. And finally, the fourth one is the Atharva Ved. Atharva Ved. Atharva Ved talks about healing, human life, daily, day to day mundane life, and how all of this information can be implemented in the mundanity of life. So, Atharvaved talks about divinity in everyday life, because these Vedas are from times when there were no religions, there were no philosophical texts, okay, there was no school of thought of what is divine and what is not divine. So, seeing divinity in everyday mundane life is what happened at that time, right? So if you're sitting, if you're eating, if you're sleeping, there is divinity and sacredness in all of that. And that is what Atharva Ved talks about. Next, let's again talk about the inner layers of the Vedas, because that is what will bring us to the Upanishads. We have talked about both the Vedas as well as the inner layers in the first video also, but let's understand them in a little bit more detail now. What are the inner layers of Vedas? First is Samhita. Again, I have discussed this before. Samhita are the hymns, the songs, the mantras. So every Veda has this layer to it in which there are mantras and hymns and songs to the divine forces of the nature. And that layer is in each of the Vedas is known as Samhita. Now the second layer is Brahmanas. So Brahmanas is the layer where each of the Vedas is talking about the rituals of how to make the offering to the divine forces of nature. So this is basically the hymns and this is the rituals, Brahmanas. Okay. Also, the Brahmanas talk about how everything you do in everyday life can be a ritual and can be sacred if you're doing it with full awareness. And at that time, people were not living in their head, right? They were living in the present moment. And being in awareness is simply being in the present moment and doing everything as a ritual. And that is what was done. So, that layer of Vedas is known as the Brahmanas. Now, each of the Vedas also have the layer of Aranyakas, as I said before. Aranyakas are the forest reflections. So, the rishis or the people who went off to the forests to as a seeker to seek the answers to their questions like who am I, where am I from, what is the purpose of my life, where has Surya come from, where has Vayu come from, who is the creator of all this, what is my role in the whole cosmic order. All of these reflections are said to be done in Aranya means forest. Okay, Aranyakas means forest reflections. So this is the layer of Vedas in which there are forest reflections put together in the form of texts. And now let's come to the main essence of this YouTube series is the fourth layer of the Vedas, which is known as the Upanishads. This is also the end or the climax of the Vedas. Why? Now, climax doesn't mean that it is the end result of the Vedas or it is the end of Vedas. No, it means that it is the fruit of the tree of Vedas. Okay, so if the tree is the knowledge of the Vedas, then the fruit is the Upanishads. So, Upanishads are basically the essence of the Vedas which can be implemented by us and they can be taken away, right? As a takeaway, you can keep them with you because they are the essence of the Vedas. Now, the whole thing from Samhitas, Aranyakas, Brahmanas, and Upanishads, from Samhitas to Upanishads, it's like going from outer to inner. That is also how the human journey is, right? We start with the outer world, we try to understand the outer world, we do things, we study, we go for a job, we learn the ways of life, which is all outer. And slowly we start questioning life as we age or as we have experiences, traumas, difficult experiences, challenges. As we face all those struggles, slowly we start going inwards. And it is a similar journey. In Samhitas, we are honoring what is outside the cosmic order, and in Upanishads, we are distilling all of that as our inner knowing, inner wisdom, and taking it away with us. Similarly, in life, we go from outer to inner, and that is the journey of a human being as well during a lifetime when they become a seeker after going through a lot of challenges. So, this is the essence of Upanishads, and these are the Vedas. So, now what is the purpose of these Vedas, these four Vedas and their inner layers? The purpose is to make the humanity understand that the inner knowing is as important as the outer knowing. Okay, it starts with understanding the movement of the sun, praying to the Agni Devta, working with the forces of nature, of water, of fire, of day and night, but also going inwards and asking questions and getting yourself those answers to have that inner knowing, to light up that flame of inner knowing. And so the Upanishads are talking about seeing Agni as the outer divine force that needs to be honored, but also seeing our inner flame of consciousness inside us, which is as important. It is praying to the sun god outside, but also acknowledging that inner light that is within you, which needs to be lit no matter if it's day or night. You might feel dark inside even if it's day outside, if your inner light is not lit. And even if it's dark outside, you can find the light inside and feel no darkness at all. So it's that knowing, that understanding of going from outer to inner, from action to reflection, right? From speaking to listening. So that is the essence of Upanishads. That is the essence of the Vedas, and that is what we are going to get deeper and deeper into as this YouTube series progresses. So this is for today. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll talk about some more deeper things in the next episode. Namaste.